Farming and teaching have been in Becky Cropper's blood since her earliest days growing up in Marion County. The Ohio Farm Bureau 2020 Cooperative Agriculture Educator Award recipient lives in Brown County with her husband Harold. They are preparing to become an Ohio Century farm in 2025.
I grew up on a family farm. It was a small farm in Marion County, Ohio, an hour north of Columbus. We had diversified in terms of livestock, sheep, cattle, hogs, and also we raised crops. That was corn, soybeans, and wheat. Of course, you remember those hot days in July with hay, but as an extra opportunity to build that foundation for our love and passion for agriculture. Now I live on the family farm in Brown County with my husband. Our children, one's a food scientist in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Our son teaches math at local high school, and our daughter-in-law is a nurse practitioner in Cincinnati, and we have 2 wonderful grandchildren. Our farm in Brown County is 95 years old. We're looking forward in 2025 to celebrating being a century farm here in the state of Ohio.
Becky never stops teaching, though she retired as an OSU extension educator after 33 years in 2012. Whether it's casually mentioning to a student at the Brown County Fairgrounds how she can practice for the SATs, or working for Brown County's 5 school districts as the 40 Developmental Assets Coordinator, how to make connections that further a person's knowledge about their own opportunities in agriculture is as natural to Becky as breathing. She credits another 4-H educator for sparking her passion in ag education.
John Fark, I would have to say, out of the starting gate. John's the former 4-H educator in Marion County. He was an individual that allowed teens to really take on leadership roles, help support us and help us believe in what we could do and see how we could grow and develop and reach and serve others in our community. John is now retired from Extension but still active, but I think that message, as I talked to a lot of our former 4-H alumni that are in my age, John really set the pace and really was a strong supporter for us as well, in addition to my parents and my brothers and sisters back at home.
Youth in the Brown County community have benefited substantially, not only from Becky's expertise as an educator, but from her counsel as a trusted mentor. Becky serves as the county representative for GRIT, Growing Rural Independence Together Through Jobs, a program in conjunction with Adams, Scioto, and Pike counties. She has also served as secretary for the Coalition for a Drug-Free Brown County since its inception, and continues to promote education, prevention, harm reduction, and treatment of addiction.
Whatever we can do to support youth, to make them empowered, to make them give back to their communities, to learn the skills and to embrace the skills that they have and to realize what they can do, I think is so very important. You know, we have our Brown County Youth Coalition. They work on drug issues. They're a prevention team, and they're from all our school districts. And one of the things we know in Brown County is we're all in this together. We're really trying to focus on what can we do as a team to make a difference, to make an impact, so other youth don't follow down that risky and the high-risk behaviors.
In addition to her duties with Brown County Schools, Becky also serves as a supervisor for the Brown County Soil and Water Conservation District and volunteers her time with the County Farm Bureau. Relationships with volunteers and those who have the same passion for sharing agriculture story that she does is what keeps her motivated to continue working and volunteering.
I think it's one word very simply, and that's called people. When you look at the over 300 volunteers that I had the opportunity to work with over the course and longevity of my career, their dedication, the talents that they were willing to share, their commitment to youth, to seeing that youth become leaders, youth learn about community service, really embracing the head, heart, hands, and health of the 4-H program, it would be people. So many individuals so willing to give anytime, anywhere, any place to make this world a better place for our 4-Hers.
Cultivating relationships and making connections is key to helping her rural community thrive in a positive way and in a forward direction.
I live by the quote, you can't adjust the wind, but you can the sails. And I think that's so important because who's going to be in your boat? How can you adjust that sail? What is on your sail that needs to be so that you can truly have an impact on others, starting to embrace, starting to move in that positive vein. We know we have issues, but what is out here that we can work on towards a solution?
Becky was nominated for the Ohio Farm Bureau 2020 Cooperative Agriculture Educator Award by the Brown County Farm Bureau, where she has been an active volunteer for decades.
Well, my husband's been on the board for 35 years. So for about 35 years, I served as the safety coordinator, planning the Ag Safety Day, and been involved in some other programs with ATV safety and all those kinds of things. And I think the best thing about Farm Bureau is that pro-agriculture stance that they take, whether it's looking at farm issues in terms of commodity and pricing and those legal issues, or if it's looking at the safety side of agriculture as well, protecting farmers, really supporting that farm industry, because we know in Ohio, agriculture is the #1 industry. 1 out of every 7 persons employed in an agriculture career. Farm Bureau is there every step of the way.
Ohio Farm Bureau is proud to honor Becky Cropper of Brown County with this year's Cooperative Agriculture Educator Award.
I would like to thank the Ohio Farm Bureau as it celebrates its over 100 years of existence for this award. So truly believe in the mission and the values that Farm Bureau sets forth in terms of providing the foundation for Ohio's agriculture, and also promoting education, also promoting mental health and safety as well. And a big thank you to the local Brown County Farm Bureau Board and our OD who nominated me for this award. Thank you very much.
Tim Corcoran's lifelong commitment to agriculture and his involvement with numerous organizations has advanced Ohio agriculture in countless ways. He genuinely cares for people, and he shows that care by giving his time. Raised on a family farm in Ross County, he studied agricultural economics at The Ohio State University and thought he would end up working in ag finance, but the road after graduation led him back home. He and his wife Karen are part of Corcoran Farms, a multi-generational family operation where they raise corn, soybeans, popcorn, hay, and cattle.
I grew up one of 13 children in rural south central Ohio, and the nearest town was Hopetown. And my memories at a very young age were the opportunities to go out on the farm and be with my dad and his brother as they worked together on the farm, and seeing them work together and working together with my my brothers and sisters on the farm. We all had different responsibilities. That just took hold on me.
Tim and Karen knew that raising their family on the farm was what they desired for their family and for the future of the farm. They are parents of 3 adult children, Greg, Lisa, and Andrea, and have 7 grandchildren.
I think my values, probably like anyone else, were instilled at an early age. My mother and my father always impressed upon us the importance of integrity, a good reputation, hard work, finish your job. It's okay to be proud, be humble. And the beauty of being a farmer, being self-employed, is that all of those are important to your business, but they're also ones that you apply to your whole life, and things that you can pass along to the next generation.
For more than 4 decades, Tim has invested countless hours for the betterment of agriculture through his leadership with numerous boards, committees, and organizations, including the Ohio Farm Bureau Board of Trustees and as chairman of the Nationwide Board of Directors. Like many in the Farm Bureau organization, the membership campaign was the starting point for involvement.
Karen and I had shared a lot of the same ideas in terms of our involvement, and someone had asked us, of course, as usual, to start out helping them with membership. We enjoyed doing that together, and that's something that I've appreciated about Farm Bureau, is that everyone can get involved, everyone. And to that extent, even our kids became involved with youth activities. And from there, I think I was asked to serve on a state committee, and eventually, probably what sparked it the most for us was early on, someone invited us to the Young Farm Couples Conference. And wow, we met people from all over the state. Then we were asked to serve on the Young Farm Couples Committee, the state committee. And wow, expanded, got to know friends we still have today, 40 years later. And throughout all that, we're contributing to agriculture, advocating for agriculture. And it was those programs that that we appreciated the most.
Corcoran's lengthy resume lists many leadership appointments with various organizations, including civic groups, church and schools, community planning groups, charities, political committees, and agricultural associations at the local, state, and national level. He said his lifetime of service to the industry comes from a need.
I love to farm. That's my passion. And I've come to realize that I can't, although I like to do that the most, there's a need beyond what I do to assure that I and others can farm. And that's what Farm Bureau does. That's what Farm Bureau allows many people to do, and that's to farm and do what we do best. But if we don't take ownership in the direction and some of the policy and the legislative issues and regulations, we won't be able to do what we do best in the way that we think is right.
Tim continues to support the institutions he believes in, and he thinks that everyone has something to offer. As a leader, his goal is to discover the strengths in those around him and then put those individuals in a role where they can succeed.
I think regardless of the organization that I've been involved with, but specifically Farm Bureau, is the interaction with like-minded people with the same objective, different way of going about it, and how we build synergy among ourselves to solve a problem, to create a solution. And that has been, that applies to every organization I've been involved with. And a particular memory, no, but countless times where a lot of hard work, a lot of interaction, iterating, reiterating, and finally finding that solution. And the feeling that we all have of accomplishment. Gosh, over the 30, 40 years with Farm Bureau and 20 years with Nationwide, there has been so much good that I've had a part of. And while agriculture and farming and insurance has evolved over the years, fundamentally the success of Nationwide and probably Ohio Farm Bureau is taking care of, serving the needs of your members.
A man of strong character and a humble leader with a genuine interest in the well-being of others, Tim Corcoran is a most deserving recipient of Ohio Farm Bureau's Distinguished Service Award.
I want to start by thanking the Ohio Farm Bureau Board of Trustees for this Distinguished Service Award recognition. In receiving this and looking around and knowing many of the past recipients, I am reminded that I am truly that turtle on the fence post. I look around and see all their accomplishments and wonder, how did I get here? Well, it goes without saying it's because of and with the help and support of many people. I should start with those at Farm Bureau, the Bill Swanks, the Jack Fishers, and now Adam Sharp, for maintaining such a strong advocacy for the passion that I have in farming. I also want to reach out and say thank you to my business partners. I have been blessed to be involved in a farming operation that's run strictly by family. To my three brothers, Pat, Dan, and Dennis, and my son, Greg, for all the times they are headed out to the field and I was headed to a meeting. Our business is great and it's successful because of all that you've put toward it while I was unable to be there. To my children, Greg and Lisa and Andrea, for making Farm Bureau part of your lives. Always showing interest in what was going on with Farm Bureau, with Nationwide. And for the times that I was unable to be at the practice, the games, while I was out at meetings or participating in other functions and farming. I appreciate your support over the years. And finally, to my wife Karen, who has been by my side through it all. She has raised the family, kept the kids straight, supported me, been part of the farming operation, kept the books, and managed her schedule so that she could be a part of what I was doing. Probably more people know her as an advocate for agriculture than they know me as. She has truly been part of who I am and the success that I've had, and I've shared that with her. And that's been a good thing about Farm Bureau. Finally, I believe in providence. I believe that God has a plan for every one of us. And if there is success that I've had over time, it's because I've crossed paths with so many great people. And I am thankful for the opportunities that I've had through Farm Bureau.
Honoring Yvonne Lesicko with Ohio Farm Bureau's Distinguished Service Award is many years too early. She might have received this award upon her retirement after what should have been a long and distinguished career. But fate had other plans when Yvonne passed away unexpectedly in June. Yvonne might have had many more years of service to give, but like many of her fast-paced endeavors, she packed a career's worth of accomplishments in her 11 years with Ohio Farm Bureau. Reforming CAUV, passing agritourism legislation, advocating for trade and farm programs, negotiating for common-sense water quality solutions, and navigating the Lake Erie Bill of Rights legal complexities are just a few of the issues she was involved with or led the charge to address. During the early months of 2020, she led OFBF's work on a farm, food, and agribusiness COVID-19 impact survey. And she took on helping with farmer mental health projects as the burdens and stresses of the farm economy took a toll on the emotional health of many. Her Farm Bureau journey began on a Sunday night in 1994 when she received a call at home from Bill Swank, who was at the time Ohio Farm Bureau's executive vice president. She was a graduate student at Ohio State working on her master's degree in public administration with a concentration in ag policy. Bill had read one of her papers and was impressed. He offered her a job as an intern. After graduation, she stayed on at Farm Bureau as a full-time staffer for the next 3 years. Her experience in covering telecommunications led to a job offer from Cincinnati Bell. She worked there for the next 15 years as Director of Government Relations. During this time, she also served as president of the Ohio Lobbying Association. She loved working for Cincinnati Bell, which she described as a good Ohio-based company. But ag was always my passion, and I knew I wanted to come back, she said. I truly feel like it was coming back home, she said about returning to Farm Bureau in 2012. Yvonne's connection to agriculture began on her family's farm and seed processing plant in Huron County. At age 13, I told my dad I was going to run the farm, she said. He had another idea. I need you to go fight the EPA for me, she quoted her dad as saying. Even at that age, I got the bug. Yvonne's position as Vice President of Public Policy suited her well. Farm Bureau gave her a platform where she could shine. Whether it was arranging for event speakers, guiding a nighttime tour in Washington, D.C., or working with students, Yvonne shined brightest when she was front and center with members. What we didn't fully realize until she was gone was that not only was she a respected colleague, but she was also a teacher who mentored hundreds. Yvonne was full of hustle. She was quick-witted, made note-takers scribble, and her walk made others jog. Her work days were intense, but she always had time to ask about kids, family, and pets. She was steady in a crisis and a patient listener. She packed a lot in her 48 years. Her husband Scott and son Oscar were everything to her. Her siblings were her best friends. She was a fun aunt and godmother and a good friend to so many. Her best piece of advice that she shared most often was this: don't wait to be asked. Show up, get involved, say what you want. As Yvonne would prefer, we'll give her the last word.
I am living my story in terms of the fact that I am doing what my part is, my correct part, the part where I fit well with agriculture. And I love that. Like, I love that I don't ever now think, wow, I'm not in production agriculture, so I'm not really a farmer. Mm-hmm. So, you know, my dad was an amazing farmer, and we've got so many amazing farmers out there. But I hope I am being an amazing advocate, and I hope that, you know, my story is what my contributions were to the overall agricultural community and the overall agricultural economy. They might not be production agriculture, but boy, I hope someday I can look back and be like, I made a difference. That was pretty cool.
Oscar and I are honored to accept this award on behalf of Yvonne. Yvonne was one of the few people who genuinely enjoyed her work, the biggest part of that being working with the organization's members. She had an amazing ability to connect with people, and it brought her great joy to help the people she cared so dearly for. On behalf of her family, we are immensely proud of her achievements working with the farming community, and we thank you for honoring her memory with this award.